Number 2, Duke traveled to upstate New York to take on number 12, Syracuse. Duke sitting at 7-1, Syracuse at 4-2. You could make the argument Syracuse needed this one a little bit more than Duke. Jamie Trimboli has played hero for Syracuse in the last 2 meetings between these teams, scoring the game winner in both of those games. So it was destined to be a great one, and it absolutely was. Make sure to hang out and watch all of these highlights. Duke came out firing on all cylinders. First strike goes to Joe Robertson, scoring by inside rolling Tyson Bomberry, diving and eating a shot to the dome, drawing a penalty on Syracuse. Garrett Leadmon would follow that up with a man-up goal, and then he'd tally an even strength goal at the 10:22 mark, giving Duke a 3-0 lead. Syracuse would answer back with Brad Voigt finding Jamie Trimboli with an extra man on the field, and Nate Solomon just a minute later would score again, getting Syracuse to within a goal, 3-2 Duke. Duke would score the game's next 3 goals. The first, Joey Manown from Jake Seau, and the final goal of the run was scored by Joe Robertson on a nice feed from Manown. Jamie Trimboli would stop the bleeding for the Orange, scoring another man-up goal, this time assisted by line mate Brendan Curry. After Duke and Syracuse exchanged a couple of goals, Brad Smith would strike, giving Duke an 8-4 lead late in the game. Things were looking really, really dismal for Syracuse at this point. Down 4 with their backs against the wall, Syracuse would start working their magic. First, Nate Solomon sticking a man-up goal, kind of a dive, kind of not, assisted by Trimboli. Then Stephen Rafis connected with Bradley Voigt, allowing Voigt to redeem himself after a terrible pass that almost resulted in a turnover. 8-6 Duke with just 4 minutes left. The comeback was completed by Stephen Rafis scoring off a Nate Solomon dish, knotting the game up at 8, and eventually we would see overtime. Drake Porter made a huge save in the OT period with 3:13 remaining, keeping Cuse's hopes alive, giving them another possession. Turner Upgren would match Porter's effort, coming up with his own huge save in the OT period on a wide open shot by Brendan Curry. And with 41 seconds remaining in the OT period and less than 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Brendan Curry was able to get underneath his man and score with little to no angle while keeping himself out of the crease to give Syracuse the upset victory over the number 2 team in the land. Final score, Syracuse 9, Duke 8. Syracuse was paced by Nate Solomon's 2 goals and 2 helpers, and Jamie Trimboli and Stephen Rafis each put up 2 goals with a dish. Drake Porter won the goalie battle over Turner Upgren, coming up with 12 huge saves versus 8 goals against. Upgren was also solid, though, making 11 saves versus just 9 goals against. Joey Manown was good for 2 goals and an assist. Joe Robertson put up 2 goals in the loss, and Brad Smith was held in check by Nick Mellon, only scoring a goal and an assist. In the end, this was a classic game. It's one of the reasons, as a Syracuse fan, when Syracuse is down late, you don't start leaving the stadium. We saw that today. Fans started leaving the stadium with about 7-8 minutes left. Syracuse scored, and any that were there when Syracuse got to within 3, 8-5. A lot of them hung near the exits or along the fence, but Syracuse does this a lot. I remember back in the day, it was Cornell in the national championship. Cuse down by 3. Cornell had the ball with 90 seconds left in the game. That's the ball game. It's over. Syracuse climbs back and they win the national championship. This is not the national championship. My expectations and my everything's tempered here. I'm not freaking out, but it was just the magic that you see with Cuse. They're down late. Their backs are against the wall. They look terrible all game. Duke's defense was just insane. They had the clamps down on Syracuse all game long, and somehow at the end of this game, Syracuse is able to grind back goal by goal by goal while playing excellent defense themselves, and Drake Porter bailed them out a couple of times. He's an incredible goalie, maybe the best goalie in the ACC right now, as he won the battle today at least, but in the end, great game. Syracuse now sitting at 5-2, heading into their next contest. Duke down to 7-2, and that's not bad. They're not going to be mad, but it was a great game. Classic for sure.